Sorry. I was mute. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our discourse today. Sorry, I was mute just a few minutes ago. Yesterday, we saw the president and his deputy. They were having, they went to give the last respect to view the body of the departed um, uh, President Mwai Kibaki. And at some point, there was no we thought there would be some maybe handshake. The photographers were waiting. We didn't see any. Was it deliberate or it just happened that it wasn't possible? So come on, tell us where you are watching us from. Let me see how I can share. If I can share this discourse so that you can join for those who want to join. How do I do this? Okay, there you go. So be able to join me in the studio. Be able to come in so that we can have this discourse. Karibu. I just shared the link. I don't know where you're watching from. You can come in so that we can have a discussion. For those who are able to join us at this time, I know mostly Wakenya labda wameenda kulala, apart from those who could just be waiting. I can see average podcasts. You haven't there, but thank you. Much awaited. Asante. From Doha, Yubat Asena. Asante sana from Doha. Watu wa Doha bado wajalala. Yeah, whoever is watching us, tell us where you're watching us from, where you're joining the discussion from, and where you are coming in to come and give your view from. So sema hapo chini, give in the comment section. For those who want to come and join in the studio, the link is right down there. You can always come on and join the discussion. We have started a little late, but better late than never. We can always have a discussion. So karibu. Elikana Shivashi, we thought Mutembei TV had been... Yeah, yesterday there was someone who came in saying that they are, they came with the link, with the handle of this year. So someone thought that these guys have gagged us. No, we cannot be gagged. We cannot be gagged. There's freedom of expression. Freedom of expression. So for as long as we are very civil and respectful to everyone, nobody can gag us. There's Josephat Obure from Saludos. Asante sana. Boni Olekamkuni, greetings from America. Hey. Tumepata Dominic Liza Kothemba, mmekuwa wapi jo? Tumekuwa humu bana, watu wamekuwa kidogo. Najua Bernard is traveling, so I think he wasn't able to start the show earlier. But then again, here we are. Okay, there you go. We are addicted to the forum. Hey, this forum can be addictive. Yeah, watching from Wajir, Ahmed Sorin. Ahmed Sorin watching from Wajir. Is it Wajir or Wajir? Is it Wajir or Wajir? Unaweza tuambia ni wapi? Unatazama Mutembei TV ukiwa wapi? Karibu kwa Mutembei TV. And for those who can be able to come and join the conversation, the links is down there. Dorothy Bryant, okay, there you go. You're addicted. Elkana Shibashi, nice to see you, Themba. Nice to see you, Elkana Shibashi. Asante sana, afurahi sana kuona na wale wote wapendwa ambao wanataka kuingia kwenye show. Karibuni sana. Ahmed Sorin watching from Wajir. Abiria Rafael Kalu. Kwani nini? Kwani iko nini? Abiria Rafael. Man, kwani iko nini? Karibu. We just got a little late, but better late than never. So come, join the studio, join the show. Come, we have a chat. Come, kuja tupige ngumzo. Kuja utoe maoni yako. Come, we have a chat together in the show. Hii show ni yako. It cannot be without you, and we cannot be without you. Baba Barunga Themba, what happened to you guys, man? Watu, your addictions zinawapeleka mbio. Hizo zinaitwa withdrawal symptoms, eh? Balkis Mohammed, thank you Themba, welcome. Josephat Kering live from Eldoret. Eltret wanasemaje? Ahmed Sarin from Wajir. Oh, ni Wajir, si Wajir. Okay, nimepata hiyo. Bob Werunga, it just happened that we got a little late, but here we are. Studio imefunguliwa, so kama waweza kuja kwa show, karibu kwenye show. Jakindu Beleo amekuja aste. Mzee Jakindu, habari gani?
Salama sana Themba, habari yako?
Mbona unakaa kwenye curtain man? Toka kwa curtain. Hatuwezi kuwa wawili studio na wewe unakaa kwa curtain.
Nimekaa kwa curtain kwa sababu nafanya kitu. Lakini nimeona tu hiyo nani uko, alafu nikasema lazima nisalimie Themba hata dakika moja.
Karibu Jakindu, karibu hapa, salamu zimefika. Josephat Kering, naona kutoka Eldoret. Ibn Yusuf Bernard leo ameenda church. Ako kwa, unajua ni hicho kipindi cha yeye kupatana na washirika, so inakuwa kidogo shida kwa yeye kuingia kwenye studio mapema, lakini tuko hapa. Dance Quest Keroka watching. Raphael Beard did not allow virus in this show until Baba goes to see. Kuna jamaa anaitwa Yuba Tasena ameingia hapa. David Olo, mzee wa grupu, naona ndio huyo pia. Ingia kama una mute ndio tuweze kupatana kabla sijakaribisha tukaribishe wahenga kule chini, alafu ndio nikuje nirudi hapa studio. Naona mzee mwenyewe Ruto Kari aka Alex. Naona mzee mwenyewe ashafika kwenye studio mapema, mwendo wa aste. Yeah. Yeah. Sasa wacha niwakaribishe wale ambao tayari wamejaajaa kwenye studio hapa. Naona Roba, naona Hubert, naona David Olo, alafu jamaa wetu wa power anaitwa Alex. Haya, salimianeni kwanza. Tuanze na Jakindu Bey. Salimia watu Jakindu Bey.
Habari zenu Alex? Habari, hatujaonana muda siku chache.
Ilikuwa blackout, lakini blackout imeisha.
Blackout ilitokea. Huko mahali huko huwa kuna blackout. Mimi sijaona blackout huko.
Blackout ya Mtembei. Blackout ya Mtembei.
Robert, salimia watu.
Bwana nime tune in, nasema mimi ndio part nini. What happened bwana? Ilikuwa blackout kabisa. Is my day off. Mimi nasema waje ni tune in, nikiangalia nasema sasa leo hakuna mtu anataka. I was shocked. You guys came in late.
Yeah, naona sasa tutaanza rehabilitation center. Haya, Hubert salimiana. Huyu ako nini? David, Hubert ongea.
Good morning, good evening. Hello. Yeah, niko hapa. Habari zenu? Kina Alex. Remember, when I almost got sick. I went to YouTube, I looked everywhere, I was like, what's happening? Is it my phone? Just for a day, I thought my phone had a problem.
Oh, that's good. Karibu.
Because David we were spending a whole night without connection.
Okay, thank you. David Olo, salimiana.
Oh, niaje Themba?
Niko sawa.
Na watu wengine wote. Mazee mmepotea hadi nikadhani nimeblokiwa. Unajua lately kuna hii lobby group imekuwa kikampeni nitolewe. Nimekuwa nikicheki simu yangu najiuliza ni kweli? Nikaona kumbe bado tuko live, tuko on air. Mazee nimefurahi sana.
Unafikiria mimi ndio nilikublock? Nikipata hiyo mali na kublock.
Alex umesalimiana, si ndio? Haya, Mato salimiana ndio tuanze submission na Jakindu Bey pale.
Mato start motivational speech, salimiana tu.
Alex ameniamulia mapema na venye leo tumesumbuka.
Lakini anyway, salam bas. Alex, wherever you are, Themba mahali uko, kila mtu mwenye ako hapa, Roba, I'm happy to be in here. Olo, maze Iza, najua leo umeteseka huko nyuma, but tumekuja, kumefikwa.
Jakindube, toa maoni yako.
Kwanza anza wewe Themba, kwa sababu wewe ndio ulikuwa number 1. Nimekupatia hiyo nafasi.
Nimeshatoa maoni yangu, nimesema kwamba leo nataka nisikie maoni yetu. Kuna mambo ambayo yalifanyika, they were viewing the body of the departed, and for some reason we didn't have any photo where the president alisalimia deputy wake. Was it deliberate? Was it supposed to be that way? What do you think? Maoni yako ni yapi? Alafu pia picha ikatokea mahali Kalonzo amefurahi sana aliposalimiana na deputy president. Was that any sign? Was he saying something? What do you think? And of course, Baba Stream, for those of us who have listened, who have watched, what do you think? Is it coming out as a success? Is it well organized according to you? And I hear it is going to be cut short kwa sababu lazima arudi kwa ajili ya nasikia hivyo katika sehemu zingine ya kwamba itakatizwa ndio aweze kukuja huku. So what do you think? Haya, tuanze na Jakindube ndio twende kwa Roba.
Asante Themba. Niliona hiyo salamu za rais wakati alipokuwa akienda kutoa nani yake heshima zake pale bungeni, na hakuweza kumsalimia, lakini nafikiri rais vile vile ni binadamu. Manake huyu jamaa amemfanyia vituko, ameenda mpaka kwa geti yake, amemtusi, anamuita ye ni tapeli. I mean, hiyo amekosa heshima sana. Kwa hiyo nafikiri president, hata kama watu wanasema ni politician, lakini alimsalimia na aliwasalimia watu wengi hivyo, aliwasalimia na sio yeye tu peke yake, lakini mwisho mwingine alisalimia na mkono. Kwa hiyo mimi naweza kusema ni maoni yake kwamba labda hakutaka kusalimia kwa sababu huyu jamaa amekosa heshima. Kusema ukweli, huyu jamaa kama angekuwa na mtu mwenye heshima angejiuzulu. Hauwezi kukaa na mtu, huwezi kukaa wewe unaikashifu, unaikejeli president, alafu 1 minute unamwambia ati president jo unakuja kufungua. Ni jambo ambalo halifai hata kidogo huyo jamaa vile anafanya. Kwa hiyo mimi kwa maoni yangu sioni makosa president amefanya. Manake ukitusiwa sana, saa zingine unaweza kusema wacha niwaache hawa. Manake huyo jamaa amemtusi president, ameonyesha hali ya kukosa heshima ya juu sana, ambapo mimi kama mwana Mkenya saa zingine naaibika sana, naona aibu mimi binafsi ninapoona wenzangu wanapiga makofi wakidanganywa, mtu akisema uongo mbele yetu alafu watu wanapiga makofi. Hiyo kitu inanishangaza sana. Saa zingine mimi ufikiria labda mimi ndio niko sijui, sielewi vile na mtu anaweza kuwa anasema uongo, anamtusi president, alafu mtu anaenda kusema ati hakumtusi. Ukimuita president ni tapeli, maana yake ni nini? Ukisema hao ni matapeli, hiyo maana yake nini? Unamuita president, mtu afadhali opposition fulani ambaye hayuko ofisini, mtu mwingine tu labda kama Kalonzo ni opposition, hivyo angemuita president hivyo, unaweza kusema lakini huyu ni mtu ambaye ndio makamu wako wa rais. Hiyo mimi nafikiri president, nafikiri hata kama wewe ni mvumilivu, kuna wakati mwingine president amevumilia ya kutosha, amevumilia. Kwa hiyo hapo nasema kwa maoni yangu sioni ubaya kwa president. Aliwasalimia wengine hivyo na mwingine akawasalimia na mkono, na hiyo ni chaguo lake. ile ziara ya Raila kule Amerika, mimi kwa maoni yangu naona ni nzuri, na kuna kitu moja Raila alifanya ambapo mimi nampongeza sana, kwamba ni kiongozi ambaye saa zingine uweka, yani mara kwa mara husema maoni yake. Aliwa challenge, aliwakosoa wale wakaaji wa Amerika na wakaaji wote wa diaspora. Aliwauliza, mimi nimewapigania mpate kupiga kura, nimewapigania vitu vingi, lakini ninaona ni aibu kubwa sana, mko zaidi ya 2,000 hapa sijui ngapi sehemu hiyo kidogo, na wale wamejiandikisha ni 700. Sasa hiyo maana yake nini? So hiyo mimi nilifurahi sana vile alikosoa, kwa sababu wanasiasa wengi hupenda kujificha bila kusema makosa. Alisema vitu vingi vile, lakini aliwakosoa. Hiyo ni jambo nzuri sana, kukosoa wenzako. Mimi nasema ni jambo nzuri kabisa, kwa sababu inatakiwa kila mmoja, tukitaka kujenga nchi yetu, sisi sote tuijenge pamoja, bila kuangalia kwamba mtu mmoja tu tunamwachia anafanya hiyo kazi. Jambo lingine nilikuwa nataka kuzungumzia ni kwamba wale watu, kama wananisikia, mtu kama Timothy Wanyonyi kama ananisikiliza, lazima wawe watu ambao wanaangalia kwa ujumla. Usiangalie tu mimi nimekosa kuchaguliwa, nilikuwa nataka kusimama kwa kiti cha ugavana, alafu sasa hapana. Angalia, kuna yeye bado ni kijana, na angalie siku za usoni, kwa sababu hii vile vile inamjenga kumuonyesha kwamba yeye ni teamwork, si mtu binafsi. Tunataka nchi ambayo tuko na watu ambao ni teamwork, tunafanya kazi sisi pamoja, si ati tu ni mimi mwenyewe nataka hiyo ubinafsi. Kwa hiyo mimi nawasihi sana wale ambao kwa sababu nyingine labda hawakufaulu, waache hii mambo ya kusema ati sasa kwa sababu nimefaulu sasa mimi nataka kuwa independent. Kama unataka kuwa independent right from the beginning. Mwanzo uwe independent, alafu hiyo itakuwa ni jambo la busara. Lakini si eti utoke umeshindwa au umeambiwa tufanye hivi kwa sababu kwa sababu ya kuangalia nchi yetu tunataka tufikishe wapi, alafu wewe unakataa. Hiyo mimi kwa maoni yangu naona si vizuri. Nataka tushirikiane, na tunataka tuwe na umoja ambao sio juu ya ngozi, umoja ambayo iko ndani ya ngozi, ambapo ukiambiwa huyu mwenzako labda ni amekukosea umkate, unasema hapana. Tusifanye ile ya juu ya ngozi, ile ambayo tunaona saa zingine tunatokea machafuko, ati tunachukua panga tunaanza kukatana sisi Wakenya kwa Wakenya. Hiyo ni mimi nataka tuwe na umoja ule ambao iko chini ya ngozi, sio juu. Asante sana Bwana Demba.
Asante sana Jakindube. Robert, you are muted, lakini as you unmute Makiadi unasema tumefungua kiosk. Yes, tumefungua kiosk. Peter Nash, hi guys, always the best show. I don't know what I was doing before this show. Very addictive. I think kuna kamote. Yes, advisory. This show is addictive. So if you come, know that you can easily be addicted. So
yeah, unajua kuna msemo mmoja alikuwa anauliza from yesterday and the day before, he wants to know why he's getting addicted kwa hii show. Akauliza, is there a way can get treatment? Sasa nimeanza kujua kwa sababu nimekuwa sick bwana. It was my day off. Sasa nimekuwa sick. Sasa nimesema what happened hapa? Nimetune nikasema hiyo na simu yangu aje, let me go to my laptop. Then I said something's not right. Then I go, let me find out what's going on. Nikasema aje niache. Nimekaa tu hivi, I was watching some NBA games hapa. Ndio ni pop inaana live. Oh hapana. Nikafunga hiyo mpira, nimekuja hapa sasa. Yeah, I was watching Celtics and I guess they're bringing Nets, New Jersey Nets. I don't care now. I'm here. So kitu cha kwanza, I was watching that thing live when the president got to Parliament. At the beginning, when I was showing the shows of Parliament, Nani Akuk, and whoever was waiting for him to come, and nikaona kulikuwa Mutuli, that's somebody from the other side. Kulikuwa Ndidi Nyoro, I don't know his name properly. He's on the other side. Then there was Mr. William Ruto. I was just like, I hope, because I've seen it before. If some of you don't know, Clinton and Jim Carter, they can't get along. So hata ukiangalia mahali wako hawajawahi kusalimiana. So mimi that's what I was waiting for, because kwa kusema kweli, somebody hawezi kuambia wewe ni taberi. This man was supposed to resign and get out of Uhuru government. He's just there to gain some marriage. He thinks by him, another thing, even his people were waiting propaganda, walikuwa tayari na kila kitu. Some of us we need from last night. Hata niliona tu wakiweka, unajua nini, kesho utaona William Ruto together with President Kenyatta. So they are waiting, they want that picture ya uongo. So they were waiting propaganda. Kama rais angemsalamia tu hivi, hiyo ingekuwa, that was everything they could wangeweka kwa image, kwa internet, kila kitu. Kusema unaona vile rais wako pamoja na nini na nini. So they were waiting for propaganda. It never happened. Rais alienda huko, he just shook whatever they did. Then he shook with the family, ends with Kibak family and other people. Thank you. The president is a nice guy. He's a nice guy. If it was somebody else, he could have even said William Ruto should not even come there. They don't prescribe from the same party now. They are from different camps. And that man, that's disappointment. And I'm very disappointed about him. In fact, if I was him, I could not even go there. So he has not been embarrassed. He just wants something. He wants something but he's not on to get it. And thank you, Mr. Uhuru. William Ruto is a wrong man. Like I've said here before, he could have signed a long time ago and just move on. Papa, so far his trip to USA, for me, it's compared to William Ruto, I can put it, I give Papa, let's say 7%, I'll give William Ruto 27% so far. The other percentage why I never gave Papa is because he cut us off. Yeah, but some of us we have taken off from Kasi to go to prepare. I was just here. I was talking to my dad who just came from Kenya the other day. I was telling him I want to take him down there. We're preparing everything. Then from there, the breaking news is I may cut short one. He's not coming here in California. So I'm very disappointed. But at the same time, I have a reason why he's not coming here. Nimetuma word message. Even some people, the problem is communication here. Iendi haraka kama vile naenda hapa. Some people are busy. Some of them, they even don't know where the Papa is not coming. I'm telling you. Some already are planning. Some already bought some air tickets. But a lot of people won't be disappointed. That's the negative part about it. So I think Mr. Jakindube, he brought in an issue which I think also maybe we can discuss it, all of us here. The issue of Kenyans in USA not participating in the election. That's true. According to the latest numbers we have over 500,000 Kenyans here who are eligible, who can vote right now. But the problem is our communication from IBC is the worst. I'm telling you, the worst. I know someone like me, I told you, me nitakuja Kenya, pengine nichukue ya kwangu Kenya because I was in Kenya. Lakini communication hapa bwana, some people didn't even know at IBC imefanya hiyo mambo ya registration imemaliza. Some people have just like, I've been waiting. So there's lack of communication between us, the people who live here, the government, and IBC itself. So one of the questions which people brought up from what I'm seeing, people in DC, they were asking Raila himself, is there a way IBC can do this thing here? Because some of us were ready, but we didn't know. Most people didn't know. And this thing, they did it very, very in a few days. And you know that a country like USA, which is, I think is so much bigger than Africa, maybe even not Africa, maybe a little bit, I think so. I mean, it's just like they never gave us enough time for registration. And that's why Papa is disappointed 700 people registered. We were not given the opportunity. And that's where we are challenging IBC to do something about it. So they can't just say they want to do registration, but they have to find a way out to reach some of these people. To tell the truth, even me, I didn't know the registration was done. I was been waiting. Maybe it's going to be done in a few weeks. Unfortunately, it's already done, and we have to find a way what happened. So the government and us, there is a disconnect, and that thing needs to be fixed. And still, we are hoping for the opportunity for more people to register before August 9th. Let me leave there, then I give somebody else.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for that. At least you're raising other issues. You can also comment. We can also comment on, as we keep on moving on, there's a young man who cried to Uhuru Kenyatta so badly today because his nomination has been given out. So you can also comment on the nomination as you comment on Tim Wanyonyi's issue. David Olo.
Okay, thank you so much, Temba. Nataka tu kuanza by commenting on what happened in the parliament, and I think Uhuru was right not to greet Ruto, because Ruto is one person who has managed to put put mud at Uhuru's legacy, and that is very, very bad. Sijui kani pesa za George Soros zinamfanya na anafanya hivyo, because Uhuru has done so many good things, but Ruto is the one who has put this thing in bad picture. So I think it is okay. Mi sioni ubaya yote, alifanya poa kufanya hivyo, because now what I know is that the more drama, the rest of the drama will go back to Othaya when they will be at the burial. I know these Tangatangas, they will try to make a group that will cheer them up there, and Uhuru and Raila will be portrayed as not being loved there. And kama ningekuwa Raila, ningeavoid tu hizi issues za kama vile anapenda kusema ati alisema Kibaki tosha nini. Ningeavoid tu hizo stories kabisa, nisiongee hizo stories za sijui alikampeni ya Kibaki ama nini, because everything he did is there for people to see. He doesn't have to repeat it. So I can just say that. But again, about Kibaki, to me, Kibaki, I didn't love him. I don't know why. To me, so far, Uhuru is the best president I've ever loved, because he's very honest and he's very true. I didn't love Moi, and I just feel that, and I never see them as if they loved Raila. They just tried to play some diplomacy and public display, but I didn't see if they really like Raila truly. If I compare them and Uhuru's relationship with Raila, I think Uhuru is very honest. So nataka tu kusema ati, and again, I was very surprised that Kibaki was incapacitated for 6 months, hangeweza kufanya kazi. And I'm asking myself, kama ingekuwa ni Raila, watu wangekubali kweli Raila aendelee na kukaa kwa kiti kama angekuwa hivyo for 6 months? So I think that was wangemtoa, wangekubali akuwe president kama for 6 months hangeweza kazi, wakikuwa tu wakimcover. If now Raila hatajakaa kwa kiti yet, some people have started counting time for him. Kama ingekuwa ni Raila amechukua kiti akiwa hivyo, watu wangekubali kweli aendelee na kukaa kwa power. So I think that was not in order, and I just want to say that that is my view for today. I will talk as the show goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, David Olo. Umesema vitu zingine hapo baba, acha kusema kila wakati akiongea. Yes, Mato, ongea. Karibu Richi, karibu Sara.
Wacha nipatie gender equality bana, patia Sara kwanza. Richie akiendelea kupanga nini, unajua kuna taa fulani anashuko inamsumbua, naenda nakuja.
Demba, mimi siwezi kunyosha mkono. Sasa ninaweza kusemaje? Kwa sababu nilikuwa nataka kumwambia nani kwamba kuna kitu ilisema Raila alisema kwamba wataweka councillors katika sehemu nyingi Amerika. Walisema hizo watafanya. Ndio hiyo mambo ya kuregister iwe rahisi, kwa sababu watu walisema kwamba communication ni ngumu, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni sehemu kama moja tu, so ilikuwa ni vigumu kwenda sehemu hiyo. So alisema kwamba watajaribu kuweka councillors sehemu nyingi. Nafikiri alitaja sehemu kama 4 hivi, na vile vile mfanyabiashara yule yule wa Mombasa alisema kwamba wataanzisha bank wakati huu, hata kabla hawajachaguliwa. Wataanzisha mambo ya kusaidia diaspora, which is wonderful.
Asante Jakindube. Sara, karibu. Alafu watu wanalalamika mtoke kwa curtain, wale mko kwa curtain. David Olo, Jakindube alisema sijui ati yako wapi. Sara, lazima ukae kwa curtain?
Hadi mimi lazima nikae kwa curtain.
Utaki tuone sura?
Ni due to unavoidable circumstances.
Haya, tumewacha. David Olo. David, kwani umehepa? Haya, endelea Sara.
Asante. It's been long since I was here. I'm glad to be back. Nawasalimia nyote. I hope you're all doing well. And I also pass my greetings to the viewers. Hata kama sijakuwa kwa panel, I am usually in the comment section, or I watch in the background. Leo karibu nikuwe depressed. What was going on? I was wondering what was going on, but we are back. We are back on track. I have nothing really. There's nothing really to write home about what happened in Parliament today. It doesn't really matter in my opinion. It doesn't really matter whether Uhuru not greeting Ruto was right or wrong. I think for politics to be able to feed a political narrative, a strong political narrative, that is, sometimes you have to make a conspicuous move. So for Uhuru, he had to make that conspicuous move to build a momentum, and essentially to make people believe that whatever he did arrives to a certain truth, that the relationship between him and Ruto is completely broken. So basically, whether or not he might have greeted him, or might not have would essentially have consequences, either positive or negative. So because he decided not to, he built that momentum, and he fed the political narrative, and the end justifies the means sometimes. So what I want to talk about mostly ni ile nomination ya Bahati. I don't know why he went to cry to the public. I mean, is this to gain a political? Kenyans have made politics look like a very it's a ball of a ball of games, because without getting it, it's as if you have essentially killed someone. And to me, he's not even he's not political material. And I fear for Madare, if at all. There was a reason. Again, this is politics, lazima tutafute kiki kidogo. So when he was essentially brought into the picture, it was just to either have backers in terms of following. Of course, he's a celebrity. That means he has a certain type of following. And obviously, the followers would want to follow what their celebrity follows. So I believe he should have, stuck to his lane. Politics is a game for people who magwiji. He's just a small boy. He hasn't reached that level yet. He hasn't even started the road. So I don't know why he was crying publicly. But well, they might decide to hear his pleas and take us down a rocky path, or I don't know what is going to happen. But it goes to show how the political arena of Kenya is so, childish and shady, that someone might just come and cry publicly, and he's not the only one. Sosion, we remember just the other day, he too decided to, shed some tears over the nomination. So nominations are a very it seems they're a very emotional thing for politicians. We continue to see if there are going to be more people who are going to shed tears as we continue. Otherwise, safe to say all has been well. Hatujasikia mambo nyingi sana, especially after Kibaki passed away. I really Kibaki as a president, he had his good days, his bad days. So whichever you wanna take to the bank, that's up to you. The guy is already gone. We can't really do anything about it. We also can't rewrite history. We have to accept the good things he did and the bad things he did. Yeah, that's what I have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. The first, you remember, was it Jaguar? Jaguar, you remember Jaguar crying for certificate?
Yeah.
So I think Bahati had that if you cry.
No, I think Bahati alikuwa amechochwa. I think after he did the music video with Baba, he felt as if he has now entered the status quo with the politicians, and therefore he thought for him it was a one-way ticket, only to find out that he was being played in order for his following to just back Baba up. Sometimes you need to look beyond the horizon. You need to open. You need to widen your scope of mind to understand politicians. It's unfortunate that he thought he was going to get that certificate, but I don't know who told him that the strategy of crying gives nomination certificates. I'm still yet to understand why this crying has become a certain huge entity for politicians.
Sarah, you need to tell
mtoto ya mama.
Sarah,
yeah,
you need to comment on Bahati crying. Nomination is not election. Yani, And this is the dream of people. That's just nomination. It is not election.
But Themba, we should not beat him too much. We should also gauge ourselves. Do you think if we lost that nomination, we would be happy?
It depends on that. The other day I was saying here that when you're going to an election, because even this guy, what's his name, Maji, there was a clip doing round where Maji and the mother were crying,
Yeah.
because he had lost the nomination. I think you need to manage the expectation of your supporters. Tell them, in vita. And when you're going to war, you can win, lose, or you can, it's never fair out there. So those are some of the things we need to tell our supporters. So when Bahati comes and then imagines that simply because you have said you are vying doesn't necessarily mean that you have the certificate. The politics is a different ballgame,
It depends. Did he give money? Did he give money to anyone to secure his certificate?
No,
probably be crying because of that.
No, I mean he just said he's going to buy, just like any politician says they're going to buy.
He's not a politician though.
kuna pesa ya bure hapo. Kuna pesa ya bure kwa hiyo politics yetu, kuna pesa ya bure. Pesa wale au politician wanapewa ni pesa ya bure. Wengine hata wasemi chochote kwa bunge. Jagwa amesema nini? Alicontribute what? Jagwa si amekaa tu kwa bunge, amepewa anapokea mshahara bure. Hiyo ndio
I like young leaders when they put themselves out there like he did. That was a very good thing. It was good that they decided to take the driving seat. That's a good thing. But again, politics does not work like that.
No, Themba, don't sugarcoat, please. Don't sugarcoat that Bahati put himself out there. Please, it is good to talk the truth and call a spade a spade. Bahati is not political material. He will never be not in the coming 10 years. I'm so sorry to say so. Simply because he's a clout chaser. And though in politics we also chase clout, we chase sensible clout. Even Ruto, in all his hypocrisy, he chases clout. He chases clout in a very not I don't want to use sensible, but in a strategic manner. For Bahati, it is not. It's completely unstrategic. So I feel like it's not a political. He can't work in politics. That guy is ruled by the wife, so he needs first to settle his family and his home so that he can enter into politics. His music also is gaugy. You can gauge his music. It's either on the bigger side or on the lower side depending on what he produces for us. So I think he needs to stick to his lane for now. Alafu maybe akilearn 1-2 from Babu Awino and the people he has been working with, in 10 years he can decide to surprise us again, this time though asilie. That's all I can say. But don't sugarcoat it that he put himself out there. No, he's not material ya kuwa MP. Surely, come on. Haezi fikia hadi MCA.
Angeanza na MCA.
Even MCA is too much for him, please.
Yani mmefanya mtoto wa Mathare akalia machozi. His certificate, alafu is even reasoning very interesting. It is the party that is going to forward the name of the people. It is not him. Amesema sirudishi his certificate. Hii nakaa nayo. Unaweza kaa nayo, but if the party has said you are not the one. That you're not
exactly.
The one.
That's childish behavior. So imagine if he were to be chosen as MP. If he's not given the money allocated for the ward, what is he gonna do? Rant about it and take the money by force, or the briefcase with money by force and say, hii pesa nitakalia nayo sita peana? No, we need people who are sensible, at least even wakikasirika. A lot of times tunaonanga members of parliament wanakasirika, but even yao ni strategic. His is completely unstrategic. Please, he needs to go learn these things. No, nimesema let him take classes from Babu Owino. I see they are very good friends with Babu Owino. He should learn to take some notes kidogo. Alafu in a couple of years, he'll be good to go.
Kuna jamaa anaitwa Memo Cheptaba anasema Bahati na Jagwa should make a song inaitwa Kigeugeu. Sasa waende huko wakaimbe. Sara mnagonga Bahati sana. Bahati, keep dreaming man. Haya, wacha nilete Makiadi kwa sababu Mato bado anacheka huko.
Mimi nilikuwa nimeenda gender equality.
Okay, sawa basi. Wacha nirudi kwako.
Sara amenimaliza leo. Wacha nini na mtoto wa mama bwana. Amelia huko bwana. Asa, how many politicians watakuwa wanakuja wanalia? But anyway, let me start it from Uhuru. You know, I appreciate that man so much. Na I was watching it before akuje, kuna time kulikuwa na confusion. They didn't know, walikuja nje wakasimama and then wakaanza kurudi ndani and then akafika. Na I think if I was the president and my deputy amenisumbua hivyo, I wouldn't say hi. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a mean person. I'm just not a liar with what I live in my life. So ulikuwa unapata pale deputy president anamchekesha. And I was watching very well nione nini itafanyika. I mean, I understand protocol. Protocol is, I mean, you're the deputy and he's the president and everything. But I do understand that he has to go through it. But he never said hi. Alisalimia tu nini ya Kibak family. And I saw a man in Uhuru. Hakumwangalia hata mara ya pili. Benye alipita kama ameenda. I would have done the same thing. I'm telling you the truth. I would have done the same thing. Yes, observe protocol. But then again, let's not lie to each other. Why are you smiling at me and then kesho utaenda kunigonga huko nje ukiniita majina? Dude, we don't have to lie to each other. Let's just do our official job and let's move on. And if you watch the military guys, that's what they were doing. Hawakuwa na shughuli na umse. Na sijui kama kuna mtu aliangalia protocol vizuri. After Uhuru went the deputy, and at that time, by the time deputy anafanya hivyo, Uhuru alikuwa kwa gari akiendaga. And then there came the serviceman after that, and then the speakers, and I think after that there went kina nani wakakuja, the civil service, kina, you know, the chief justices and all that. And then that's when kina Kalonzo came. And I was also watching, that guy, I was watching him. Mnajua mwenye nasema, he looked very sad. Like, not sad because of Kibaki, but I think the protocol hakuwa anapenda venye inaenda. He came way behind. So for me, it's just that I feel I'm appreciative of what Uhuru did. Hakudharau mtu lakini hakusalimia, alisalimia familia ya Kibaki. Because again, in this country we are treated to so many dramas, you know, where utupatane pale kiwanjani unanigonga, halafu tukikuja unataka kuchekesha. For me, that I respected Uhuru for. And I think for now, then, I'm going to stop at that. And then I'll come back for the next one. Tukisumbua Makiadi hapa and everybody else. So I'll come later.
Thank you so much. Do you think, Neto, do you think the protocol, they made it very deliberate that nani asimkaribie?
I don't think so. I know so.
it was deliberate that the guy doesn't get close to the president.
He was very well orchestrated that wasikaribiane, hata hiyo salamu, hata hiyo ya kuja kuonesha mikono hivi. He was very well made, and if you realize aliyeko huko mbali, Uhuru akapita akamaliza na Mama Ngina wakapiga picha na nini, and then by the time, if you don't realize, by the time Ruto was going to do that, Uhuru alikuwa kwa gari anaenda ametoka. The presidential escort was already on its way out. It was very well orchestrated, deliberately made.
So the protocol was like, you guys do your job. That's what they were told. Do your job and make sure that, okay, this guy is here, and make sure that at no point there's no, let the state office do its job. Call the guy the respect he deserves, because it is a state job. He's still holding. He has refused to get out, na kwa sababu anataka hiyo heshima, kwa sababu hataki kutoka kwa hiyo cheo, anakashifu hiyo government, lakini bado anataka kuenjoy hiyo. Mpatieni hiyo.
That's exactly what happened.
Make sure tusikaribiane anywhere. Make sure that kwamba this one inakuja, tunafanya kile tunafanya, tunatoka. I think it's going to be the same in Nyeri also, when the burial is taking place on 30th. Yeah.
And then Demba, I'm so sad. Raila has is going to leave on Thursday, which we understand because of Kibak burial. So I'm short visit yake.
Memo Cheptab anasema it was nice to see Uhuru bowing to DP Ruto.
Let me see what Martin just said. I know we have other people. Let me say something there. You know, I don't know, maybe people in Kenya, they don't realize how Uhuru is beloved. I'm telling you, where I am here, I have people from Tanzania. Like I told you, my wife comes from Tanzania. A lot of them, we meet them at different places, Ugandans, and they love Uhuru Kenyatta. They love him. But when I see some people trying to tell us, oh, it's just like they wish, their wish was, even people in central Kenya, they should just like cover their eyes and they think Uhuru does not exist. Uhuru is the man. But Uhuru is most loved, even outside Kenya. Loved. I'm telling you that because I've seen it and I know how people talk about him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Robert. Yes, Baba is leaving on earlier than expected. So for wale ambao wanapanga kwenda San Francisco, California, poleni sana. Baba according to the news reaching our news desk, he is cutting short his tour of the US to come and attend the burial, prepare for the burial ceremony of our departed president. Yes, Biria, kuna swali?
Nataka tu kuongea kitu ambacho Martin aliongea na wengi wameongea kuhusu vile president amebehave kwa alipoenda view mwili huko. Kwanza ningesema amefanya kitu kizuri, na si kwamba alikataa kumsalimia makamu. Alimsalimia lakini kwa mbali. Na hilo ni jambo zuri. Kutosalimia mtu kabisa na kumzira mtu ni jambo baya. Lakini alifanya kitu cha maana. Kule tu kumsalimia kwa ishara kutoka mbali pia ilikuwa ni vizuri. Kwa hivyo watu wasichukulie kwamba rais amefanya kitu kibaya, amefanya kitu chema. Kwa sababu ametusiwa muda mrefu sana. Na si mtu mwingine lakini msaidizi wake. Asante.
Asante sana. Wacha nilete Makiadi alafu ndio nilete Cobra. Makiadi.
Thank you Demba. Sijui naona mic ya King Cobra na sijui kama kuna kitu walikuwa wanataka kusema.
Yep. Bwana Temba, can I say one or two things, please?
Haya, sema.
Abjaboni wananchi wote. I would like to respond to Martin's contribution, and then I'll comment about today's happening. First of all, what we should understand the handshake from an African perspective. In our society, shaking somebody's hand is very, very important. And we just kind of went along that when there was that COVID protocol, but right now it's been freed, and it was all calculated. President Uhuru Kenyatta showed maturity, because if you would have shaken Ruto's hand, it would be everywhere in the media right now. As you can see, the photo of Kalonzo hugging Ruto is trending everywhere on Twitter. And those Twitter bloggers who are supporting Ruto were waiting for that. But Uhuru was very smart. He was a very smart dude. So it was calculated and he did the right thing. This is a rumor, but it said that after he had passed DP with his gang, he went ahead and greeted hand to hand with Kalonzo. So you can just see what it meant. Number two, the same thing is going to happen. I'm not speculating, but there's a chance we're going to have a problem on Friday, because I think Ruto is going to try and bring his goons at the funeral, and with the name of heckling Uhuru. But I think Uhuru is prepared for that. I'm really waiting for that very closely. So for me, what Uhuru did was deliberate but well calculated. If we would have greeted this guy, we'll be talking of something else. And the bloggers would have taken the event and made a good thing out of that. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I can't show you my face right now because I'm in a place that I need some privacy.
King Cobra, nakujua hata kuja na majina 20.
Themba chungo usipendwe tena. By the way, poleni. Today I'm going to leave early in touch ya mtu mwingine, maybe Makiadi ama mtu ataniimbia national anthem. I need to leave early, and I just wanted to say that we are always here. We appreciate you. Makiadi maze, tutaongea. So I gotta go, I gotta peace out, and we'll be here again tomorrow like always. I'm sorry, guys.
See you later. Why are you sorry? I mean, you gotta go, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. See you, Mato. Nice having you here, bro. Makiadi.
Shukrani Ndemba, ungekuwa karibu ningekuserve na court papers Leo sijui.
Why? What have I done?
Sijui mmetuamulia namna gani. I thought we cleared this thing.
Oh, yani your management of your addiction.
Maneno bana, maneno hatuwezi enda kulala na haya maneno moyoni bana. Lazima tuyaongee.
Karibu.
Haya, asante. Nimesikia Sara ametoa hapo comments mzuri, hata nikasikia ni kama amefuga kuku. Ama ukusikia kuku Ndemba? Sara, sijui kama unafuga kuku siku hizi. Nimesikia jogoo hapo.
Jogoo?
Nimesikia jogoo ikiwika hapo, nikafikiria uko mahali huko ni asubuhi.
Oh, unaongea in parables ama?
No. Nimesikia kuku. I think wewe ukusikia wakati ulikuwa unaongea. Ulisikia roba.
It reminded me home, sweet home.
Unajua siku hizi kumekuwa dangerous musini nini. Please do not make me start thinking kuna mazinga wambo anywhere. Where kuku huku ngambo. Huku dogo.
Maybe it was somebody else. Okay, that's just by the way. Wacha niongee kidogo juu ya handshake ya between Uhuru na Ruto. I don't know why people are reading too much in this handshake, because mtu anaweza kusalimia kama anataka, na kama hataki kukusalimia atakupita tu, na I don't think there's a big issue there. Nimeona watu kwa social media wanasema maybe kuna watu walidungwa vaccine ya Sputnik na wengine wakadungwa Moderna. Sasa huwezi amini ule mtu unasalimia kwa mkono kama ako vaccinated fully ama hayuko vaccinated. So that was just a by the way. I didn't read too much in that, but something that really caught my eye is there's this young politician in the name of Ndindi Nyoro. I don't know who gave him the functions of welcoming the deputy president in parliament. I don't know what protocol they are following. But again, looking at the whole scenario, I think it was a bit disorganized. You expected the president to be welcomed maybe by the speaker, because when you go to the to parliament, then the speaker is the boss. So having the deputy president stand there in front of the two speakers, ahead of the two speakers, and then having the president snub the deputy president's hand and move ahead and shake Kalonzo's hand, then the whole picture showed probably a government in disunity. But then, you don't know if they had met before or they had spoken before. So I'll not put much, I'll not try to dig much out of that. As we continue to mourn Kibaki, like we always say, Kibaki had his legacy. He did the much he could with the little that he had. And one thing that we really remember Kibaki with is the way he revived the Kenyan economy and strengthened the financial sector, especially when it came to SMEs and also, local borrowing by Mwananchi. I think he turned Kenya into a financial, a financial superpower, so to speak, in terms of empowering mwananchi ule wa chini. So aende apumzike salama. Watu wanasema tutaonana baadaye. Now I'll come back to the US tour ya Baba. Yesterday I said here, and I think it's a good thing that somebody raised this issue before, the issue of how Kenyans are being treated outside the country, and especially in the Middle East. We've had a lot of stories of our young ladies, sisters being mistreated. Most of them have gone there alive and came back dead. And there's no explanation or, anybody being held accountable to that. So I want to believe that the coming government, under the leadership of Raila Odinga, will put much effort in trying to streamline the foreign policy so that we have a system that protects the Kenyans who go outside to work and to, seek greener pastures, and especially in the Middle East. When it comes to probably the US, I would say we only have one main office in DC, and probably the satellite offices are not really functioning. The people who are supposed to be there most of the time do not even help Kenyans. And so I think we need a special kind of arrangement in which Kenyans are served equally, despite their location or residence in the diaspora. I also want to talk about Kalonzo Ndemba. Nimerudi tena kwa Kalonzo. History ya Kalonzo kila siku inanishangaza. Siku moja tunamaliza maneno ya Kalonzo, siku ingine tunaanza maneno ya Kalonzo. So today I listened to Kalonzo. I think there's a clip playing in the media, in social media, where he's saying that kama hatachaguliwa na Raila kama DP, then Raila should expect to lose. I mean, I'm so tired of the card Kalonzo is playing, because he looks like he's trying to twist everybody to being named the deputy presidential candidate. And I think it's so unfortunate, because as a team player, you also listen to what your team members tell you. And it's supposed to be a matter of give and take. So you sit ground, just like the way they prevailed upon Team Wanyonyi to step down and run in Westland's constituency, is the same thing that Kalonzo should do. And if there's a team already that has been identified to go and do a poll survey just to identify who among them is the most popular, then I think Kalonzo should chill and you should wait for the results. This thing of running to the media every time to make his statement is not helping to Azimio. Again, with his Wiper party, I'm so sad the way they are, pushing these, the so-called, I call them proxy candidates. I don't see why Wiper should have cleared Sonko to run in Mombasa, knowing very well that Sonko was prosecuted because of corruption. He was impeached. The impeachment stood through the Senate. And therefore, if Nairobi as a county rejected Sonko, I don't think Mombasa should be allowed to let him run. And it also makes me sad when bodies like EACC say that they have no capacity to prevent aspirants from running. I mean, these guys are being paid to do that. They are being paid to prosecute corruption cases, to make sure that leadership that is elected is full of integrity. And when the DCI pulls out, the EACC pulls out, the courts convicts you, but you still get that ticket from IEBC, then we are turning Kenya into a criminal enterprise. Finally, I want also to talk about the Nairobi lineup. I'm happy you guys were talking about Bahati here. And you know, Bahati is one of the candidates that were given tickets on a silver platter. I don't know if he worked for that ticket or it was just given to him freely. But then finally, I can see light at the end of the tunnel. Azimio is coming up with a formidable team. You can see people stepping down for others. You can see Bahati was supposed to run in Mathare. I think there's a stronger candidate than Bahati. And if you look very carefully, you'll realize that Mathare was a constituency that has been won previously by ODM. Remember, even Margaret Wanjiru's son ran on ODM ticket and won in Mathare. And when he switched to Jubilee in last election, he lost. So Mathare basically is an ODM zone. And when Jubilee is asked to step down, when a Jubilee candidate is asked to step down for an ODM candidate, then that seems like the Azimio coalition has realized, you know what, if we have many candidates in this city, then we are going to lose most seats. So I'll stop there and then maybe I'll come back for another round.
Yeah, thank you, Makiadi, for highlighting that. You know, Mathare, generally the largest number of voters are the Luo community. And you find in Mbakasi East, where Babu Owino is also a voter, there are quite a number of Kamba voters also. And so they're trying to make a calculation, and they're saying, if we are going to have what's his name, Bahati, come in, and they also post the ODM guy, definitely the votes will kind of be messed up. So Bahati didn't make that. For him, he thought there's a constituency of voters called Watu wa Mathare. There's no constituency vote called Watu wa Mathare. there are different voting pockets that are organized. So that, I think, is what is missing. And he's now trying to threaten the party by crying. The crying is what really amazed me. You have to have this is a school of the hard knocks. You know, he thought if Jaguar cried and he got his certificate, you will also cry your way to the certificate. Hii ni siasa. Siasa haitaki roho ndogo kama vile Sara amesema. But let's see what happens. King Cobra. Okay, Roba, what is it?
I just want to add on what Makiad said about the people outside the country. I think more especially some of us who are here, I think the country is just like, they don't care about some of us. For instance, they should find a way, and it's something they could have done a long time ago. First of all, they allocated money for this international issue of trying to register people. I don't see why, and I don't even get it. They've done nothing about it. And they keep on just telling us, oh, you are the people, you send money, you make the country. Okay, we understand that. But what have you done for us? You can't expect them, like now, like Makiad said, they have a DC, they do have an embassy DC. We do have somewhere here in California, a place called Los Angeles. So they are telling me to live where I live here in the other side of California, to drive over 3 hours. Imagine gas, the way it is right now. You drive going there, going and coming back, that's almost 7 hours. Something that we have technology. This is something. All they have to do is to set up a system where we can register even online. As simple as that is something which can be done. Instead, they just get the money, they squander the money, they use it. I mean, those people, I mean, to tell you the truth, I don't like them. They are not doing their jobs. Most of these embassies, they don't even service us. Some of them, they just come here, they just make money, working other jobs. They don't even, some of them, even if you make a phone call right now, you call them, you can't even get somebody to answer a phone right there. They are the worst people I've ever seen, the services in our embassies. Let me just leave it there.
Thank you, Roba. King Cobra.
Yes, Bonatemba.
I know you. Hata ujifiche.
I know. Bonatemba, Sarah was really attacking my friend Bahati. Sarah, let me get on your nerves a little bit. Bahati is a young man, and I've told you many a times that siasa ni kitu, you need a heart. If you're offended heart, if you're faint-hearted, don't go and display yourself in politics. But just look at Uhuru. All the things, they went to his background, backyard, wakamtukana, wakamwambia mengi. He never responded. He never cried. But the only problem here is that Bahati was given a certificate. And then now they're retrieving it. That one there hurts. It's one thing if you just don't give somebody a nomination certificate, but giving one and then recalling it, that young boy had a good reason to cry. Anyway, he has started some waters. Now he knows what politics is all about. It's a game of the giants and anything can happen anytime. Sasa tukamwingilia sana bara nakuwa ile hiyo, what do you mean, usanii wake sio siasa. That's different from politics. Usanii na siasa, two different things. But I hope nobody cheats him to go independent, because he will see fireworks. He's going to spend all his money, I think he has got. Sina mengi, ni hiyo tu ndugu yangu.
Asante King Cobra. Julia.
Asante Themba. Hello everyone. Good to hear Sarah ametupotelea sana. Hi Sarah.
Hi Julia, nimekumiss.
You are so lost in the debate. Tunaomba
No, nilikuwa nakita kambi kwa comment section for a while.
Okay. I could see you. Hi everybody. Hi Richie, Roba, Jakindube, Themba. Naona mnatea kijana wetu. He could almost be my son or some kind of a thing. He just needs his mama to pinch him a bit. A grow up kiasi. But I think, okay, he made a good attempt to vie for that seat. But the thing he should not do is to cry in public, because our African boys are taught not to cry in public. Right, Themba? Simunambiwangwa, if your dad is not there, you are the one in charge of that home. I used to hear my son's uncles telling him that where you are like your dad in this home. You should take care of your mama, your sister. So we taught our African boys not to cry in public. So I think huyo kijana anko yake amuite aongee naye kidogo, ata grow up so that next time akidanganywa, akionyeshwa madimoni, anazoea tu, anakubali, because that could be the madimoni that was in Jubilee that alionyeshwa. But I think what basically that Jubilee is doing, or Azimio is doing, they are trying to think on the best candidate. They're also trying to do balancing, because I think they're using some formula. The places where ODM won in the last election, I think there'll be a bias towards ODM candidates. And the places where Jubilee won, there'll be a bias towards Jubilee candidates. So I think if though he got a Jubilee certificate, that was not final, just like what happened to Anyonyi. That was not final. So I think it's high time Kenyans also, I think, look at things broadly. Even if you have an ODM certificate or a Jubilee certificate, wait for the final agreement. These are parties that are trying to decide on the best winning formula. And when all is said and done, though we are talking here about independent candidates, we want Baba to have so many members of parliament. We want him to have power, overwhelming majority in parliament. We don't want him to be held hostage. You can imagine a situation where we have so many independents and UDAs, and the independents being bought by Ruto. I think it will be hell for Baba when it comes to passing various laws and policies and all that. So I think people like Bahati is young, he has time for that. And I think that will help him grow up. So I really don't see Muhurumi sana. I just hope that his uncle will give him some talk, like the uncles do give some talks to their nephews about growing up. Now, about what happened, that Uhuru didn't shake the hands of Ruto, I'm not surprised. And I think Uhuru is straightforward. This takes me back to how those two people came together. I always feel from the bottom of my heart that truly Uhuru meant well for this country when he decided to work with Ruto. One of the things I think he meant, he wanted to end the conflict in Rift Valley once and for all. I think that was one of the things that made Uhuru work with Ruto. Of course, we had the ICC mathematics coming in, but still, I think he meant well. He didn't think that this man would go behind his back. I don't think he saw that coming. And I think what followed after they won really shocked Uhuru, because I always see Uhuru like a spoiled brat. Mimi sionangi Uhuru mtu anaweza kupangia tena kupangia huko akupangie hii. I think he's just a spoiled brat. He's grown up in the palace. So he doesn't have to scheme for anything. So when he began working with Ruto, he may have had several reasons. Maybe one, he was sure that there was going to be peace in Rift Valley. And I think Mount Kenya region people are the one who benefited so much from that. And it is a shame that they have joined Ruto to call Uhuru names. It is really a shame. And I think that will go a long way to haunt them for a long, long time because of what they have done through Ruto. So today when he didn't shake his hands, he was just being genuine. How can you be planning bad things behind my back? Alafu unakuja kunichekesha. Hata hicho kicheko. Look at the body language of Ruto. Look at his smile. It's not genuine. You know, sijui mwenye mnaishi America ama Europe. Have you seen this smile these people give? And they say, good morning. That's what they say. Hey, how are you? You know, they smile. It's, and you can see it's a lie. Hata afadhali mtu asikwambie kuonyesha your smile. You can't lie to somebody that you love them. I mean, body language, huwa haifichi. Your character can never hide with your body language, however much, however big smile you wear. Huwa haifichi. It always shouts. The body language always shouts. So even as Ruto was smiling, I saw his smile. It looks like a sheepish smile or a wicked smile. I can call it a wicked smile. He wanted to act to the rest of the Kenyans that, you see, I'm talking to this man. And he really hoped Uhuru would shake his hands, because I think Ruto was kind of surprised by that. But why is he so naive? Why is Ruto playing so naive that he doesn't see that Uhuru amemsoma na amemwelewa? It's like having a wife in the house whom you can no longer trust in anything. She can do to you anything, any time of the day or the night. Hata chakula akipika unamwambia kule kwanza. Kwa sababu you wait for her to serve that food first, because you don't know what she's intending. That is the relationship between Uhuru and Ruto now. So how did he expect warmth from Uhuru? I am happy Uhuru did not pretend, because pretenders are worse than murderers, and I think that was okay. I too would not pretend, and I don't like to pretend. I think it is good that we are in black. We work in black and white. So going forward, people are thinking that wakati wa mazishi, people in Dodaya will embarrass Uhuru. No, they will not do that. First and foremost, I want to describe to you the common Kikuyu man and woman. The common Kikuyu man hawananga sada hizo drama. Even if Raila has ever been shouted down anywhere in Mount Kenya region, jua watu wamepangwa, a few people wamepewa pesa hapa na pale. They never have that time. Hawananga hiyo saa ati wakuje wakushout down ama wakutukane. They don't. So if anything will happen, it will be organized by the likes of Gachagua and the others, all those Mount Kenya region MPs who have a problem with how they operate. But I don't think anybody will come to shout Raila down or Uhuru down. I do not think that one will happen at all. They won't, and they respect their son. And also, those who not want to be there will not be there. Those who not want to listen to Uhuru will not come. Those who will come because they want to listen, they want to come for that funeral. First, they respect Kibaki, and also they respect Uhuru, but they will not come to shout Raila down. If you hear any shouting, any small thing, jua watakuwa wamepangwa na wamelipwa. That is a shame to any politician who is planning to do that. So, me about Uhuru and Ruto, it was okay. It was okay because bona ajifanye mtu anakuchimba anaenda mpaka kwake Gatundu next to his home anaita kina Kuria Kuria wanaongea matope wanatukana president and he's cheering them on, and then today he's coming with a big sheepish wicked smile ati anataka kusalimiwa. I think Uhuru is even nice. Me, sisi wa mama, saa zingine tuko na tabia mbaya. I would have just walked past him. I'm sorry, men always think we are too much, but we are never able to hide our feelings. I may have just walked past him, niwapite niende kwa hao mengine, because why pretend? Why mbona ni ujifanye na mtu anakuchimba na kutafutia mabaya? And we've heard worse things about those two people. We don't want to discuss them because we don't know whether it is true or not, or their speculations or allegations, whatever they are. But really, we think Uhuru has a good reason not to shake hands with his deputy. So when I was hearing that discussion, I just said no. I think I even went back to play the clip again. Nikaona kweli hiyo body language ya DP Ruto, he had a wicked smile, wicked, like he can't hide. You can't hide your body language. Hata mtu akikwambia akikupenda Themba, I mean it can't come out. Haitoki. Hata akisema nakupenda mara 100, haitoki. I mean that is how God created us. That your body language, even if my smile is all the way to the back, you'll just feel it. Julia is pretending, you'll feel it. It comes out so strong. So me, I would say that for Mount Kenya region, I think you are learning lessons and you should be very wise. Otherwise, you regret and feel foolish after this general election for the decisions that you have made. But now I realize that people are changing, people are turning around, and I'm happy and I appreciate that, especially those who understand where we are coming from. And I think now we'll be talking to our young people to teach them where we are coming from. Now, I heard Robert complain about the voter registration. Robert, you are right. You see, this Kenyan embassy, they are in America and they cannot absorb the American culture. It's so annoying. I mean, ukikuja America, Wakenya wenye wanaochi, if you are still in Kenya, when you come in America, I'm not trying to brag or to boast. You get some change of attitude. You change the way you treat people. You change the way you attend to people. You change even the way you work at your workplace. You begin to, you develop some servant mindset. Unfortunately, our people working at the embassy, they are working in America and they have interacted with these Americans and they cannot buy that. They cannot buy the servant mindset. Roba mimi nimepiga simu. I tried that registration thing. I'm a registered voter in Nyeri. So I tried calling. I wanted to change because I was trying to log into the site where they are asking you log and book appointment, and I could not go through. So I was trying to call. I called 3 different lines, and then nilipiga official working days. Na hakuna mtu alichukua hizo simu. Wanakwambia wacha voicemail. Nobody even called me back. Now, here, if you want something in this country, even if you leave a voice message, you get a call back. Anything small you want, you get a call back. People follow up. Ulikuwa umepiga simu, tukusaidie namna gani? Those Kenyans there at the embassy, wako na kasuba mbaya sana. Those are the things we should change. And I don't know whether people are able to tell Baba that, because many Kenyans would have voted who are in the diaspora, but because of me, nilitaka kubadilisha my registration that I voted at the embassy. In fact, I was willing even to drive there. I was even to book a flight. Nilikuwa nimepanga, I'm going to book a flight. I go vote there. I didn't care. I wanted to vote for Baba, but nobody was picking up my calls. I couldn't change my registration. So hiyo ni kura yangu moja imepotea huko Nyeri, Mathira, naona, and many other Kenyans who are here. So what I'm trying to say is that this is high time. I think our embassy changed, and I think even Kenyans changed. Ukipewa kazi, penda kazi yako. I don't know what we are going to do about that, but I think we should write a memorandum even to the future government ya Baba. Tumechoka na hizo tabia mbaya za Wakenya. Me, after coming to America, not that I was not doing that. Okay, I have learned a lot of this when I was in Kenya. I've learned that you need to love your job, however small you think it is. And when I came here, I learned to appreciate so much. For example, when I reported in the school, I reported, guess who was arranging my classroom? The school principal was arranging my classroom. Alikuwa nabeba na desk, ananipangia, the school principal. Nilijua ni school principal, lakini amepata mwalimu mgeni. Na huyu mwalimu mgeni hajui desk ziko wapi. He was carrying desk and bringing to my classroom. And I said to myself, I feel like taking a video of this man and sending to the Kenyan school principals. Because we have a wrong attitude. Ukipata kazi, fanya kazi yako. Love that job. Serve the people you are serving. Do it as if you are doing it for God. That's what the Bible says. Lakini, unfortunately, Mr. Roba and the others, tuko na a very, your embassy, I don't know. I hope Baba was able to get that message, because it is not that people didn't want to register. Another thing, we have technology. I can take my fingerprints through technology. I think we do that. Even face recognition now. We can use technology. So they could facilitate our registration. And then we could now sacrifice and go to Washington to vote. Okay? At least they could facilitate our registration. But we could sacrifice and fly or drive to Washington to vote. We could also vote in other places where we have the consulate. Like I think we have a consulate in Atlanta. I don't know whether we have a consulate in Atlanta or New York. We could have several, other countries have consulates all over America. We could have a consulate in every state. I mean, what's the big deal? We could vote at the consulates. They could facilitate our registration and we could go vote at the consulates. So hii kuambia tu watu wa diaspora wapigi kura, it is not the diaspora who are to blame. It is the organization. I mean, something wrong even with this IBC. I don't know. Something is very wrong. I think we need to change the whole mindset of how we do things right in Kenya and even those who are working here in America. I think, remember, that's my take. It's really frustrating. Hata kama sasa tunafanya kazi ya kuambia vuka sakafu, lakini huku tunasikia tumenyanyaswa. We are not able to actively participate. That's my take, Demba. Thank you.
Thank you so much for airing your frustration. Thank you so much for airing your frustration, Julia, and hoping that they listen and they do something about it. You know, I can see Maggie amefika hapa, amejaja hapa. Maggie, na ukiingia kwa studio si bado una nini. Wala wako kwa comment section. Asanteni sana, tulikuja kuchelewa leo, so we will also not stay very long. So we started a little late. Bernard ako kwa njia anasafiri kurudi Nairobi. Hopefully kesho atakuwa amefika vizuri. Mahali ambapo alikuwa kulikuwa na blackout. So tupige mawe sana. Naona kuna Alum sijui kama amelala ameamka. Alum is a lady. So Harun, unapo address Alum, that one is a lady. Yeah, Alum is a lady. Yeah. Najua majina ya huku kwa comment, if you don't know them, you can address them. I used to think Penny Nyagaka is a lady until he came to the platform. Akakuja huku juu. I remember someone telling Penny Nyagaka that wewe inafaa uolewe ndio hii maneno mingi ishe. Only to realize that Penny Nyagaka is a very, very nice, contributor ambaye anaitwa Penny. I think I don't know if it is Penwell or what. I think some name like that. So yes, yeah. So karibu Maggie.
Asante sana Bwana Themba. How are you?
I'm trying to be good.
Why are you trying? You should be good.
Are you good yourself?
I am. Very good. Yeah.
Then I want your life.
Huh? You want my what?
I want your life. If you are good.
Where do I put the like? Okay.
Toa maoni yako.
Maoni yangu nimeona hii mambo ya sijui handshake, no handshake. Uhuru, then Ruto at Kibaki's last respect. It's interesting. What did we expect? Even me, I wouldn't do that. Na zile matusi zote, Ruto anabeba watu wa Uhuru Kenyatta, alafu anaenda kwa backyard yake, na wanamtusi mpaka watusi hata mamake. Would you shake somebody like that's hand? I think sometimes we just think we are so superior and we are not. Ruto, I think, was really trying, and I think he succeeded in some area, but not yet. He's going to know what he has never known in his life. He was trying to Kikuyus. They tried with Moi, Moi thought he succeeded, but he never succeeded. Kikuyus can be very, very patient. They were patient with Moi for 24 years. But Moi realized that these people cannot be Kikuyunized. And now Ruto was trying by buying quite a number of people and even going at the backyard of a whole head of state to spew insults na kusema hizo maneno machafu even to her mother, and now coming back with fake smile to Uhuru that he thinks he is more clever than Uhuru. Uhuru is above clever, is just so intelligent than Ruto. Ruto does not know what he is doing. So me, what I saw, I laughed and I said, yes, this is Wood Mamangina. I said it in Jaluo like that. This is Wood Mamangina, a woman's son. Usiwe mtu anakuweka kidole kwa mapua na anatoa na baada anarudisha tu. It was the perfect scene I've never seen with Uhuru, and I didn't expect him to behave like that because he is always a humble person as well. But what he did was good. Otherwise, maybe only that is what I may say because I've come too late, but I really wanted to say that after I heard Julia saying it, and I also had to add something just a little like that on top of it. But mimi niko sawa, baba bado yuko Washington, na tunashukuru Mungu, and things will be okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Temba.
Thank you so much. Hujakuja kuchelewa, uko tu sawa.
Thank you.
Yes, Robert.
Yes, thank you, Maggie. I just want to make a follow-up on what Jules says. There are some things. First of all, I agree with you. That was a fixed smile from Ruto. That one, I saw it also. But there's one thing you have touched about regarding the people who work at the embassy. In fact, that's one thing we had organized, the people here in the West Coast of the United States, here in California, when we were expecting Baba to pee on Thursday and Friday, but now it's not going to happen. These are some of the things we wanted to bring it up. Remember, we remember, and I'm about to say something here. If you remember, Tim Cosmos, and that's my uncle. Remember, this network, we demanded Cosmos, his uncle, who is Mr. Uhur, the MP of, I think, Bobasi, to apologize. He did. Remember, we called Serenity to go and protest. They did. So, again, there's something here I want to say. I want the government, IBC, to tell us how much money they used on this international registration and the way they did it, how much money was spent and how it was spent. Because we can't have situations where money is being used up on the air. I'm telling you, the last time I was in the Kenyan embassy in DC, nilingia huko ukiangalia fiti yenyewe, maybe they have changed. They buy them from Salvation Army. They buy them from used stores. A whole embassy. I mean, that's the last time I was here. So, but if you make a follow-up, the government might have spent a lot of money, but still they are bringing that corruption all the way from Kenya, even to our embassies. This one cannot continue. We want the government, maybe they would ask somebody to investigate how much money was spent on to register people outside the country. On top of that, there's one thing I've realized. There are this group of people who, some of them, maybe their families are working in the embassy. They keep on exchanging and just like a roundery, where they come in, just same people. That's why they are not getting the job done. And it's high time our government look upon, and we want to know why some of these people work in the embassy. If it means hiring people in the locals so that they can do service for us, we are wanting to demand that. This is disgusting, I'm telling you. 500,000 Kenyans here in the United States, and only 700 people were able to register. And what I want to know, how much money was spent on that? You just find millions and millions because maybe the rest of the money they have just put them in their pockets, and nobody is going to find out, and nobody's going to make a forum. But this one, we can't let it go. We can't let it go. Let me leave it for there.
Haya, kazi kwenyu watu ambao wanafanya kwa embassy. The complaints are coming fast and furious. So can we? I'm thinking we are going to try and find the consulate, at least to have someone come and respond to some of these concerns, because it's not the first time, it's not the only time. There are many times we have had this complaint coming, and so we are going to try find someone from the consulate to come, and we host them in the Mutembei channel, and especially in Diaspora Diary. We are starting a program on Diaspora Diary, and maybe that's part of what we can be looking forward to be having, because when there's communication flowing freely, then at least people are able to air out their views, and some of these things are able to be addressed as should be. So yes, there are those concerns. I've heard them. There's something that should be able to be done to address such numerous concerns that have arisen from the numerous people's experiences. You know, guys, I've always said, if you want to renew your passport, you will it is renewing a passport is work. You know, it's a work by itself, and you try calling, the people who will answer you will take days, so you have to plan to go and camp. It is typical Kenyan experience. So I think it's something that needs to be. Yes, Makiadi.
Yeah, them part house is a many typical Kenyan experience. You know, people in Kenya right now who go to apply for passports are even having an easy time compared to the people who are in diaspora, especially here in the US. And just like Roba said, these guys have forgotten their work is supposed to be in the office. Most of them are never in the office. Every time you call, the only thing you hear is a voicemail. They never call back. I think most of them wako kwa makdi huko wana make extra money. So they've forgotten their work is to serve Kenyans. They are out here wanafanya extra hours na kutafuta pesa. I think this is something that has been going on for a very long time. But there was an ambassador here, I can't remember his name, who had really streamlined the services of the US Embassy. And I think when he left, watu wakarudi default mode. So they are still doing what they used to do, and that is looking for extra money with the side hustles.
Haya, changamoto zingine ndizo zimeanza kutokelezea, kwamba wengine ambao wanafanya kwenye embassy wanafanya side hustles, wanagonga mashift huko, wakati zile vitu ambazo wanapaswa kuwa wanafanya kusaidia watu wanalipiwa hawafanyi. So we need to, yes, Robert.
We are demanding from the government to release the names of the people who work at the embassies, and we want to know them. This is bad. I'm just telling you, it is bad. You know that I was trying to get some birth certificate for my kids. I couldn't even get in. And when I went to Kenya, same day, I got the birth certificate for them. Same day. I went there to get the passports. It's just a nightmare. I mean, it's less money when you are in Kenya. It's less money when you do it. Okay, they make us pay, but it's not like they are doing it for free. Like the birth certificate, I will give you an example. They have the international if the kids are born abroad. If you go there, here in the embassy, you pay $50. That's like 5,000 Kenyan shillings. But when you go to Kenya, it's a free service. It's not like we are getting some of this service for free. We are paying for them. A passport here in the US, a Kenyan passport, is going to cost you almost $10,000, almost $100. But when you do it in Kenya, you know how much the passport is, unless it's the people in Nyas, you want to bribe them, which I never did, and I told them I cannot do that. And I stuck to my guns, and in fact, they end up getting the passports. So it's cheaper. These people, we want to know what the people work at the embassy. I know they have some section of an embassy in California, somewhere in Los Angeles. You call them, you never even hear, they don't even answer. I even don't know what, the only thing is you go online, what they like to doing. Whenever there's a holiday in Kenya or a holiday in the United States, it's always that one. That's what they put on the website. The first thing, oh, we are not open. They're never open. We never get the services. We want to know the people who work at the embassy. And this one, we cannot continue doing this way. 500,000 Kenyans, only 700 people registered. And where do you take the rest of the money? We want to know.
I agree with you, Robert, completely. Because I believe the ambassadors here are a joke. Completely a joke. Personally, I don't even know who our ambassador is. I have never heard of him. What work is he doing? I went to the Kenyan consulate. It looks like a building of you know, inakaa building ya Gikomba. What is going on? Surely, you know, the ambassadors are not doing the work, because if at all, you know, ambassadors are supposed to create, they're supposed to essentially create a good working environment between the country you are living in and their country and our home country. They're not doing that work. That's why people can't even secure long-standing investments in diaspora. And then you ask why. They need to release a list vizuri so that we can know them and we can know where their offices are, because I feel like they're doing very shitty work.
Wow, I think a concern is coming out very seriously. I mean, that eco issue. Now, one thing I must tell you guys, this is not the first channel I've had issues being raised about the embassy. And there was a time I think I tried to call about, I asked someone about I was just doing my own internal inquiry. Then I was told that, you know, going to look for a passport in the DC is work by itself. So you can even go camp there for a week. And the people you're supposed to see, you will not even see them because they will not be there. So it's yes, Julia.
Just I think I may be the most recent diaspora. Just a tip. You don't need to go to the embassy to start your application for your passport. You just need to go to eCitizen. Kenya has gone some miles now. You go to eCitizen and sign up and put all the information required, your pictures, etc. Once you're done with that, it generates a form and a thing that when you're done with that, you book your appointment for your biometrics online. And because you're now here, you book your biometrics appointment at the embassy. So now you don't need to even, once you book there, you go and they receive you. I think in my latest passport, I renewed there. They will receive you, they'll take your biometrics, and takes, I think, somebody, applied the other day, within 2 weeks he had. But why it takes 2 weeks? Because it is processed in Nyayo House. It is not processed here in Washington, D.C. So you don't even need to call them if it's a passport thing. So Kenyans who are watching this show and are in the US, you don't need to call anyone. Just go to eCitizen, sign up, fill all the information required, have the documents like your birth certificates, and sometimes I think IDs come somewhere. I don't know whether they come or they don't come. I don't know how they handle that. So once you are done with that, as you finish filling the form and you pay, after you pay, you can pay, I don't know whether you can pay, because you are paying to Nairobi, you need to find a way of paying. Another thing that Kenyans, you may find useful to you, I know some of us have been here for a long time. Now, you find it useful for you to have an M-Pesa account, because most of the transactions now in Kenya are being paid through M-Pesa. And when you go home, find it useful for you to register your number, your Safaricom number roaming. Now, my Safaricom number is roaming, so I am able to do transactions from here through M-Pesa. So I was paying through M-Pesa for my passport with my Safaricom number because it's roaming. I can even transact, I can transfer my money from M-Pesa to KCB, from KCB to M-Pesa right from my apartment, because my number is roaming. So my number is very active, is roaming. I get all the notifications from my bankers in Kenya. I can transact left and right. Okay, I use Sendwave. So I operate between Sendwave and Sendwave to my M-Pesa to anything I want to pay. So if you are here and you've been here for long, consider having an M-Pesa account, consider having a Safaricom line, consider making it roaming when you go home. So if it's roaming, you can do all that stuff. So the only thing now you need to go to Washington, D.C. to do is for your biometrics. And once they do your biometrics, you don't need to go back for your passport. You keep checking in the eCitizen. eCitizen will tell you that your passport has been delivered in Washington, D.C. When you check the status, you'll know that it's already there. And once you see it's already there, you don't go for your passport. You send Washington, D.C. an envelope, a paid envelope. I mean, you already paid for it, you send to them. So they send back the passport to you. That's how they operate. You don't have to go for it. So technology is helping Kenya. So if you have that information.
Okay, I think she might have lost. Tama, let me just come in here. Here is that, you see, we know that trend, more especially the people who live the people who live in the US, like Julie said, I know she's from South Carolina. Most people don't have kipande. People came here with passports. Some of them, they lost their IDs, and the system has changed. I'm telling you, you talk of e-citizen. If you don't have an ID, you will not access e-citizen. So there are some people who never came here. Maybe they had ID, they lost them, they never knew, they don't have it. And even if you tell them they go to Kenya, our passports don't want to help you unless you register those things as international, to register those M-Pesa things. Everything has changed. You must have the ID. And some of the people I know for real, what gave them problems is they don't have Awana Kipande. And if you don't have ID, you cannot access all those services we are talking about online.
Julia, let me ask you. So you said you applied online. How long did your passport take?
I think Tam has taken less than 3 weeks, because when I went to check, it had been in Washington for about a week. So it must have taken less than 3 weeks.
Because I know 3 weeks is a bit generous. I have friends. I have a friend who went to, I think, DC. He was trying to process his passport, and he was told by one of the staff there that if he has a trip that is coming up in the near future, afadhali aende Kenya atafutiwe, because this one was going even to take longer. Alikuwa anaambiwa about 6 months. So he was told, hapa hata tunachukua vidole zako, lakini lazima tutume kwa CID Kenya. So you see, such things, it's a broken system.
Yeah, it's the guys, they blow it up, and I think they still have that corrupt mentality like in Kenya. Unaona, they blow it up. But if you just follow the due process, there's no favor they are doing you. Just apply the thing online, avail yourself for biometrics. The documents just go to Nairobi. So if it takes time, it's because Nairobi has taken more time with your documents. So I think they just blow it up. They just make you think that life is so complicated. And I mean, what Rabbi is saying here, the ID thing, I think when Kenyans who are in diaspora, next time you go home, get your ID. Now, if you have your number, if you still can remember your number, there are many ways you can get your number back. If you had a driver's license, or if you had if you had a bank account, things have become so computerized that you can trace even your original copy of your ID in your bank account, such a thing. But if you can't, I met somebody who had to apply for a new ID because he could not even remember his ID number. The other thing that Kenyans need to know, you need to have your PIN, your tax PIN, because you cannot buy property if you don't have that tax PIN. And if you have the PIN, then also remember to make your new returns before June. I don't know, it's June 30th. Remember to make your new returns unless you are doing business. If you are doing business in Kenya, then you are not making new returns, because if you don't make those returns, there are some charges when you do the next KRA returns. And if you don't have your PIN, you may be prevented from various transactions. Kenya is trying to streamline things. It's trying to do things like the Western world is doing. So even if we think people are not serious, it may reach a place where you find you cannot go through a transaction because you're missing this item. So maybe when we go back to Kenya, people should try and get their ID, their PIN, their tax PIN. Just to be okay, because you never know when you need these documents. So Mr. Rabai, I agree with you. There are many people who don't have IDs, and that is the biggest obstacle that is preventing them from doing stuff.
So also those who have kids, the one thing, don't leave your kids to be 18. Then you are in trouble. Try to get them the birth certificate before they get 18. They're just there online, it's $50. Then that one will make it very easy for them to get an ID. Because when they get to 18, I had to go with my son last year, November there. I was in Nairobi, somewhere, I don't name this place. Man, we had to fight a war. That corruption is still there. So I'm telling you this, he has a birth certificate. They have given him a birth certificate from there in Nairobi. Still, when you go for the ID, they tell you they want a school certificate or a living certificate from Kenya. I see one to have a living certificate in Kenya, and he was not born there. And the same government has given him a birth certificate. So we had to go some process, but at the end of the day, he was able to get his ID, and he was also waiting to go on for this election, but it looks like he's going to be disappointed because the people at the embassy or whatever it is, another thing, they never gave the people outside the country enough time to do registration. They never did. They just they woke up, they did what they did. Then from there, straight the truth, some people, they were shocked. Even when Baba brought it up that there were only 700 people registered, some people are just like, oh, registration took place. They even don't know. They don't know. So that's what I'm telling you. Our government does not care those of us who are outside the country. And we want to tell them, it's not our wish we are here. Some of us want to be back home. It's because of your nonsense and other things which you have killed the economy. Some of us are seeking employment where we're back home. So let us try to solve this problem. But you cannot take away my right of voting. I want to be registered. I want my family to register to vote. You can't take away my right. And some of these things were brought up some administration before. That one is there. I know some of you might have money, you don't care. But the government has to do something about this issue. More especially, who are the people they get to? Some of them, they even don't know. And we want to know among people they employ at the embassy. We want to know. I'm sick of this government. I'm still not necessarily Uhuru has done his job at least, but we need clarification. We need an active embassy. Who's the foreign means? I don't know who's the Secretary of Foreign Affairs from Kenya. I don't know who his name is. I wish I knew. Sometimes even them, you call them. This is getting out of control. it's getting out of control. If you remember, even before the 2017 election, they had put some money to register people overseas. So where did they took that money? And nobody made a follow up on that. And now they have done it. So this time they go and they get a few people. I don't know why they got them. And now they say they did their job. 700 people. 700 out of 500,000. That's not good.
Thank you so much. I can see we really need a day where we are going to be having a discussion on the operations, because now from Julia's perspective, it seems that there are a bit of improvement that is taking place, and hopefully things are getting better. But there's also someone called Anita Bobo who said it took her 8 months to get her passport for, I think, her kids or something. I feel you, mimi kurenew passport iliwatake 8 months. So there's that also. So there's just a lot that we still need. Continuous discussion, continuous talking can be able to help. Now, I think we have hit our 2-hour mark. We want to be here just for 2 hours because we started late, but it's still okay. So I want to start getting our closing time, because we have pretty much tried to scratch the surface on the things that we were to discuss today, and guys have been able to contribute. Kama kawaida, we hopefully tomorrow we start early so that we can have, these are the people who come to close, who came here today. And I can see Robert is normally not closing, but he has found himself here. Robert, you are normally not coming to close. Today you are muted. You are muted.
Okay, I should be on now. Can I just close it because I'm about to step out?
Yeah, sure. You can start. Let's start with you. Your
Yes.
closing remarks on that, and then of course something coming up is we need to really try and see if we can get someone from the embassy. We are going to try and get someone so that we can have a discussion. So give your closing remarks, please.
Yes,
okay.
I've always said here that the democracy comes from the people, and you will never impose democracy on the people, the will of the people. I'm telling all the Kenyans, come August 9th, August 10th, you'll be shocked, more especially the people from Central Kenya, because I know some of the friends here. I went to school in Central Kenya. I went in Kiambu there in Alliance High School. I know how they do things. I'll be shocked. It's going to be a shock. Uhur is going to cut the day. Uhur is going to cut the day. Mark my words. It's going to be a shocker. And Uhur is going to prevail. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Jackie Dube, are you there? Jackie Dube, Abu Lilala. Maggie.
Sema Themba.
Haya, toa maoni yako ya mwisho.
Maoni yangu ya mwisho, nimefurahia. Things are not going so badly with us, the Azimio people. Bado tunasubiri ni nani watutapewa kama deputy, which I think ni mama mwenzangu Martha Karua. At least mimi kama mama ninataka sana at least hata sisi wa Kenya tuwe na deputy mama kama sisi, ndio ibalance, ndio hiyo inakuanga ni 2/3 for women, ianze this time wakati wa baba. Otherwise things are okay, are good. The way ninaona wind inaenda sasa saa hizi, Azimio is well placed. Tuombe tu Mungu, mimi najua everything will be okay. It's only 4 months remaining. In fact, 90 days. I think today it is 89 days remaining. Na tutakuwa huko juu sasa. Na Mungu akitujalia, it will be ours. Thank you very much, Mr. Themba.
Asante sana Mama Megi. Nikuja kwa Julia ndio nimalize na Makiadi.
Megi amesema 2/3. I think that should be the way to go. 2/3 parliament wa mama.
Yes.
Sijui kama mnakumbuka ile story ya wangu wa Makeri. Nani alisoma hiyo story?
Yeah.
But we'll not do that then, but we promise. We'll not behave like wangu wa Makeri. But we hope that that Mother Karua becomes the next deputy president. I know that government will perform. Now, somebody is telling us that driver's license and a passport is okay. Yeah, it's driver's license should identify you. Passport should also identify you. But when it comes to many transactions with the Kenyan government, you can only do them with your ID. So that's why it is good for people living in diaspora to find a way of having their national ID. Because home, east, west, home is still best. Na bado huwa tunarudi huko. So even if we've been here for a long time, I think we still find ourselves wanting to go back home. Otherwise, I don't have much to say. Mr. Themba, thank you for opening the show. Nilikuwa kwa moyo nikasema leo ameona watupe stress. We are starting the week and they are trying to spoil my week by not bringing the show. But luckily, I was about to text Makiadi nimuulize, why are you spoiling my day and spoiling my night? Thank you, Themba, for ulijua unatupea stress.
Pole. Makiadi, tafadhali.
Asante Themba. Unajua ukishinda the whole day mahali uko unatafutia unga, saa zingine unatakaga mahali unakuja kurant. Hata kama unakuja kusema ni kwa nini Ruto hakusalimiwa, yani utoe hiyo machungu ndio uende ukapumzike. So saa ingine tukiingia YouTube tunatafuta show, tunaona hakuna kitu inaendelea, tunabaki na hiyo machungu. So sometimes you know, even 2 hours of coming here to talk, to educate each other and you know, just to help our country and our fellow countrymen is always appreciated. You can see from the comment section, majority of the people, I believe, are in the diaspora. And so far, you look at the numbers, they tell you that people are not happy about the performance of the embassies. And so I think one of these days we should try and find one of the staff so that they can come here and tell us why they get paid to do what they're doing in a wrong way. Finally, I just want to mention something about the IEBC. Nimesikia IEBC nasema kufikia tarehe 28. I think that's 3 days from today, if I'm not wrong. They want the political players, the major political players wawe wametaja running mates wao. IEBC nakuwaga na mambo mingi sana. So saa hii wana concentrate na kutaja running mate. I'm not sure for what reason wanataka kujua running mate saa hii. I don't know if they play somebody's political song ndio wanaingizwa kwa matrix ya siasa. It's like they are used by somebody somewhere to try and play the political matrix too. I think IEBC kazi yao ni kuhakikisha kwamba tuna uchaguzi mzuri. Ile kitu ungekuwa natuambia ni ballot papers ziko tayari, tumeweka ballot papers, tenda ilipeanwa, ballot papers zinakuja tarehe fulani. Watuambie ni kwa nini huwa wana print 1.5 million extra ballot papers na huwa zinaenda wapi baada ya election. Those are the most important things. Vitu kama za kufungua server, watuambie kwa nini France walikuwa na lala wakati koti iliwaambia wafungue servers. Mpaka leo ule provider wao wa servers bado wamefunga. So such things IEBC nafaa kuwa ina address zile vitu ambazo zile makosa ambazo Supreme Court ili point last time wakati ya ile petition. you know, there are so many things that they were supposed to learn from and improve, but from what I'm seeing, we are still headed. I'm always concerned about this because we are still headed to the same troubles that we had last time. So I think whoever has a connection with the IBC, awaambie watu wataki hizi charades zenye huwa wanashinda wakituwekea hapa, mara munemo sijui deputy president candidate sijui nini. Those things hazitusaidii sahi. These people will definitely have a running mate, and that is according to the law, so they know. Just give them time, do your job, make sure that the systems are good and ready to go, and then everything else will fall into place. Thank you, Ndemba.
Asante sana Makiadi. Sijui kama unatusomea constitution leo.
Niko tayari. Naona Black anatusalimia huko. Anasema Bwana Makiadi, IBC may not prepare for printing of ballot papers, hence best to know candidates for elective seats with the presidency included. Okay.
Black amekuja late. Mwambie
ako kwa comment section private, lakini ni sawa. Kama wanataka kuprint makaratasi wakisema namna hiyo, then that's a genuine reason. Lakini I think wanakoga na kitu inaitwa overreach. I think hizi timelines zinafaa kuwa set. I don't think they should be making press statements without a written, a written mpangilio kwa karatasi, ndio hata ikifika siku fulani unajua hii ni wakati wa name running mate. So the way they are doing it right now, hiyo yao ni kienyeji. Wacha tusome constitution. Leo tulikuwa tunasoma article 36. And Article 36 is about freedom of association. It says, number 1, every person has the right of freedom of association, which includes the right to form, join, or participate in the activities of an association of any kind. Number 2, a person shall not be compelled to join an association of any kind. Number 3, any legislation that requires registration of an association of any kind shall provide: A, registration may not be withheld or withdrawn unreasonably, and B, there shall be a right to have a fair hearing before registration is cancelled.
Okay. Thank you so much. Black, umekuja kuchelewa kidogo, so tulikuwa tayari tumejiandaa kufunga, so we will tutakuruhusu kuja kesho. Wacha tuwatambue watu ambao wako huko chini. Mwana wa Ingo, Kenya Embassy is just another big scandal. Inaonekana ni Julia tu ndiye anaongea. Nyabwansu Fred, Tugege Gitash, Adam Sojula, maybe Kenyans are tired of guesswork. It's okay to mention the running mates. Black Uhuru didn't shake anyone's hand on arrival at Parliament building leo, not just Ruto. Sisi hatuko concerned na wale wengine, tuko concerned na Ruto. Hey, Black, acha zako. Black Mamba. Bansu Fred, hello guys. Tunashukuru sana. Julia, usiende, wewe ndio tunatupatia maombi la mwisho. Jiji man, asante. Penya Gaka. Niliwaambia Penya Gaka kuna jamaa siku fulani alifikiria Penya Gaka is a lady. Akamwambia wewe enda uolewe. Alimwambia nitakuja nilete ng'ombe kwenyu. Only for Penya Gaka to join the show and otherwise to be proven. Nathan Nduzi, Baba's wisdom ndio tuangoja, 3 days left to. Wacheni kungoja Baba's wisdom. Endeni kama mnataka kwenda, wale wanaenda. Mnangoja nini? Why do you hang around waiting? Finn Otieno, we don't want Kalonzo. Give us someone else. Baba atatupatia direction. Makiadi, they need the names to be printed, the election papers. Okay. Julius, IBC must start preparing ballot papers. IBC does not have any legal framework to force people to tell them to give them running mates. They should be receiving the presidential candidates. and then the presidential candidates give them the people they have nominated. Where are they getting that legal whatever to force presidential candidate to give them running mates?
So niulize Ndemba, kama IBC nataka majina sahi anze kuchapisha candidates kwa ballot, what happens between now and election day if there is a change for any reason? Do they have again
there's a deadline for presidential candidates to submit their names to IBC. That is the day ambayo officially IBC should be receiving the presidential candidates papers, not the running mate. Right? Running mate is an internal thing. So they're just giving themselves kazi ambayo hata si yao. Like for example, they started calling akina Moses Kuria na nani. Yet the time for election period bado jafika, they are not still within their mandate. So there's quite a lot of drama going on. Nani Kizito anasema kwamba nyinyi mnafanya tuchelewe kwa sababu hamjanunulia Bernard generator. You guys promised Bernard.
Yeah. Kizito pole sana. Utaona.
Mulimupromise kumnunulia generator?
Tukumpromise, wacha tuache hiyo, utaona matokeo.
Kizito we nyamaza, tuma pesa kwa Richard Makiandi, wacha kuleta shida. Ni wale watu wanaleta shida badala walete solution.
Kizito ni mwenye alisema kuna concubines hapa ama ni nani?
Ni yeye.
Okay. Julia ndio huyo Kizito mwenye ulisikia akisema ako na bibi 5 na concubines
Yeah,
I
just thought, Lord have mercy.
They want to know which DP has more numbers for them to rig easily. IBC is talking for Ruto. He wants Azimio to choose so as to know how to gamble on his side. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Kesho, I think, today, Azimio is going to have a meeting with IBC. It's going to tell them that it is not within their legal, whatever mandate, to force candidates to give them running mates. Running mate is not the one who is going to be running. It is the presidential candidate. So how can the presidential candidate have a timeline of 14th of 19th or 14th of May? Yet the running mate is being chosen right now. That does not make sense. You need to wait until they bring them. Once they bring them, then they come with their running mate. We said, okay, you qualify to be the president. Now, who is your running mate? This is my running mate. You give it to them. How is it going to help them? Is the presidential candidate going to submit his paperwork today? And how do you print papers before you have confirmed and you have not received even the names of the presidential candidate? You need to receive, first of all, the presidential candidate so that you can go and print the paper. You haven't even received the names of the other positions, because the deadline for reception is, I think, 2nd of May. That's when you are receiving all the other posts. And then from there now, you receive for the presidential candidate 14 days after that. So you haven't even received for all the parties. Hawajamaliza hata nomination. Wewe umeanza kukangangana ati yo letter SG running mate. That is jumping the gun. Temba hapa nje kuna dawa fulani ya kusalimia mtu anakufuata. That was an opportunity for Ruto to use kamote. Akili mtu wangu. Ati Ruto angetumia kamote, Uhuru akifika hapo ageuka tu amsalimie pap. That meeting of IBC has been postponed. Okay, it has been postponed. Okay. Who knows whether Ndeto won the nomination? Ndeto went independent. I don't know if he's already taken. Temba hapo kwa DP ndio possibility ya rigging iko. Hakuna rigging. Yeah, rigging is not an event. Rigging is a process. So if they have rigged, if the person has not yet rigged by now, then I don't think they'll rig. IBC is playing politics. Tomorrow things will turn around and they'll play moving forward. Now, one thing I want to tell you, if Ruto is concentrating on IBC to rig for him, is so much deluded. You cannot, if you're not in the government, you cannot win by IBC. You can win by the people. Create a euphoria that is going to make people vote overwhelmingly for Kenya Kwanza. If that doesn't happen, then you don't see anything happening. Anyway.
But Mr. Themba, you know Ruto is in the government. It's not in the government. So it is something which is so alarming.
Ruto is not in the government.
He's the deputy president anyway. He still have the machinery.
No, he doesn't have any machinery.
Okay.
He just has a name and he has refused to get out of power, and tumemwachia hapo. Unaona vile anatritiwa vizuri, anapewa protection, hizo ndio anataka. Na anakuja anakuambia kwamba mimi sisi hatutaki positions, lakini ile position ameshika hataki kutoka, lakini anakuambia mimi sitaki position, as we are not interested in positions.
Yeah.
Lakini kuna mmoja hautaki kutoka.
Ni kweli kabisa.
Unaona hapo sisi ndio wajinga. Ndio unasikia wajinga sisi.
Yeah.
Sisi wale wengine hao wanataka position. Sisi hatuna haja na position. Na saa hizo anataka kupigiwa salute, anataka kufunguliwa mlango, anataka abebwe nayo magari siri nifunguliwe nini. That's why he doesn't want to get out. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate, at least you came on. We were able to discuss a little bit. And now we'd love to please, but we have to go. Themba, I'm not a new DA. How many times am I going to say this? No, whether you're a new DA or not, Martin, pambana na hali yako huko chini. Now,
huyo sio Ndeto ule wanataja. Ndeto, kuna Ndeto mwingine. Huyu ni Mato huyu wetu. Kuna Ndeto mwingine ambaye alikuwa anakuja hapa mapema kabla Martin. Ndio
alikujanga Mount Kenya, facing Mount Kenya juzi. Akatuambia maneno mengi sana.
Mato Ndeto, wewe kwani nafikiri wewe tu ndio uko na jina Ndeto? Kwani umepatent?
Lakini ukiangalia watu wawili wako na characteristics the same. Unaona Martin Ndeto in Kikuyu means someone who has so many words.
Inamaanisha kelele. Kwa nyinyi wawili mko na kelele. The difference is that wewe kelele yako at least ni ya Azimio, yeye kelele yake ni ya UDA. So siku ile mtapatana hapa.
Lakini wajiko tofauti. Huyu ni Martin Makandets na yule ni Martin Ndeto. So it's two different things.
Yule hata haitangwi Martin Ndeto, anaitangwa jina yake ya kwanza imepotea. Anaitwa Ndeto nani? Nitakumbuka, nitawaambia. Sasa huyu Ndeto, Themba ni uchokozi, Themba anachokoza tu. No, it's not you Ndeto. Ni nini fujo? Yes, ule Ndeto nywele mingi, sio Martin huyu. Yeah. Ule Ndeto anakujanga. Na huyu Ndeto hapa anavaa miwani kweli? Huyu havai miwani, si ndio?
Anavaa.
Kwa hivyo ukiitwa Ndeto lazima uvae miwani.
Hata yeye anavaa.
Wote wanavaa miwani. So
they have the same characteristics.
Huyu Ndeto wa Azimio ni mweusi, yule mwingine ni mweupe. At least hiyo sasa.
Si mweupe Ndeto. I mean Themba, he's the same color but he's kind of a bit slender. Huyu mwingine amekula sana kiasi.
Ndio unajuaje mtu amekula? Watu wanaleta tu sura peke yake hapo.
Si hata sura inaonyesha mtu amekula.
Acha zako Megi. Unafikiria Makiadi amekula kuniliko, si ndio?
Makiadi amekula kukuliko.
Unajua wewe ndio ulisema ukitokea kazi unapitia chikafile. So wewe ndio unaweza kuwa umekula kunishinda.
Nani?
Themba alisema anatokea kazi anapitia chikafile kwanza pale.
Acha zako, sikusema hilo. Unaniwekelea. Asanteni sana, tafadhali kumbuka kusubscribe kwa Mutembei channel, na pia vile pitia pale kwa Themba and Dully Show, subscribe. We have dropped another video for you. Kama kawaida, we really like when you come there and show us some love. Again, we want to really apologize for starting the show, especially for the Kenyans. I know you felt some withdrawal symptoms because the show wasn't there. But those who are in the diaspora, you have been able to catch up. We normally just meet here for about 2 hours. So, I mean, tuko 2 hours, sisi. And hours will always be there. Hata wa Kenya mkicheleweshwa, msijali, sisi wengine tutakwanga na show for about 2 hours and then we call it a day. Asante sana, tafadhali. We would love to please, but we have to leave. Napokuja kwa show mara nyingi kama hakuna itilafu kama leo inaanza saa 3:30 saa 4 Kenyan time. But ukipata watu 10 kwa platform ujue imejaa. But if you come in before that, just click in, ingia, let us keep talking, because when we stop talking, we start fighting. We do not want to fight. So we have to keep talking. You only need 4 things to come in: working gadget, something to share, connectivity, and a willingness to learn. Thank you so much. You come here and meet very nice people like Jakindu Bay, Richie Makiadi, Maggie, and Julia. And we keep talking to each other and we listen to each other. Let's try and be civil, respectful, and also appreciative of our differences. But again, remember that we are all Kenyans. So I want to give this time to Julia to give us our final prayer. Julia, tafadhali, kazi kwako.
Tuombe. Mungu, nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi.
Amen.
Asante sana Julia. Amen. Asanteni sana kila mmoja. See you again tomorrow. God bless you. Kwaherini.